Okay, nerds. This is like, I don't usually do this, but this is freaking exciting. The PTR for today, Saturday, October 18th, was there's some boss fight stuff happening tomorrow, but I'm more interested in the gathering changes in this PTR. Now, check out these notes. The rarity of all gatherables is now determined entirely via weighted random roll set to target a specific ratio of our different quality values. Big words to say it's random now. Artisan buffs will continue to affect these base odds as they have previously. In response to player feedback around gatherable spawning system, we've removed all predetermined rarity from gatherable spawns. The rarity of all gatherables is now determined entirely via weighted random roll set to target a specific ratio of our different quality values. So like they might set common to 50%, rare to like, 25% legendary, all the way down to like 1 or 2% of the times it pops up. This is what they're saying. This means that when a legendary resource is harvested, there is no system in place that attempts to respawn another legendary resource in its place or nearby. The rarity of each gatherable spawn is now random, but is still impacted by our existing gear, tool, and other buffs that have been in play for some time. Too long didn't read. Static rarity is dead. Now another good change that made me start the video is right here. It says, the 4 artisan POIs associated with each starting area will now contain all the novice tier crafting stations. The area west of Lionhold, east of Samaya's Hope, the hammers and bonfire both in the anvils. This means we don't have to travel back and forth to do woodworking on one side and then metalworking on the other. All of the stations are going to be in one individual area, removing the need to travel between the two areas, which makes so much more sense. So that's fantastic for new starting games. I haven't read the rest of these. Now it says, greatly reduce the power of artisanship stats on related consumables. Okay, so they just adjusted the food and the elixirs. Let's see. Novice level plants and stone now have a shorter delay time before respawning, so they're going to respawn faster. But this is for like basalt and granite and oak and ash and stuff, so that's going to be faster. It has to be faster because now that it's RNG, the people are going to be clearing forests to get that 1% chance at the legendary. And so all of the forests are going to be completely wiped out, so they have to respawn faster in order for people to keep farming them. And the landscape to not be completely just devoid of plant life. Fixed missing gatherable materials for recipes in the professions menu. I haven't seen those personally. I do a lot of mining and stuff, but I'm sure you guys know which ones. Carfin emblems now drop from enemies in the Tower of Carfin at a base rate of 20%. So they're more common. Corrupted blood will no longer drop from enemies in the Tower of Carfin. Its use in recipes has been replaced by the Carfin emblem. Okay, cool. Crafting preview item rarity will now match the end product. That's fantastic. No more guessing as to what you're probably going to get or relying on the Ashes Codex to do the math for you to know what you're going to get. Fixed tanning recipes for leathers and furs that were missing reagents. Fixed skinning recipes for Raptor and Sandskull Komodo. Removed incorrect recipes from the Animal Husbandry Apprentice Station. The Kirin is not currently supported, and the Otter recipe was removed as the Tidebreaker recipe already exists. Morning Slate, Nestone, Ochre, and Scalestone stone fragment recipes now correctly reward their stone fragments. Weaponsmithing and carpentry quality stats were not improving the quality of their respective gathering tools when crafted. Weaponsmithing and carpeting quality stats were not improving the quality of the okay. So like if you had 1500 weaponsmithing, you'd make the same tool as if you had 0. It had no change. Missing weapon recipes have been added to certain general enemy drops. Missing alchemy and scribe recipes have been added to universal drop tables. Corrected the names of name of items, journeyman scroll of dexterity and delicate set of tool scepters. Removed tooltip message from artisanship tools, which noted that tools can only be equipped in settlements. Tools can, in fact, be equipped regardless of a player's location. Cool. Let's see. Rogue removed trip from grappling hook and increased its cooldown. Fall damage will be prevented during its effect. Huh. So grappling hook takes longer, but you no longer get tripped. Like if you receive damage while grappling, you don't get tripped. That's interesting. Summoner fixed disintegrate and suppression ray so they cancel their channels if the target dies while being targeted. Each will continue channeling if their target was not targeted at the time of death until a more robust fix is prepared. Level up notifications. When leveling up or gaining new weapon points, players will now see a toast notification in the center of the screen. Sticky notifications, a persistent reminder above the system tray, shows unspent skill, weapon, stamina points, along with temporary notifications in case you forget to level up like I do sometimes. Enemies and NPCs, with the recent change to the way change damage and resistance scale between enemies of certain levels, the world bosses, Firebrand and Tumok, have had their levels adjusted to 27. This is in conjunction with the various adjustments to the magnitudes of their abilities and their stats, so this is not necessarily indicative of a reduction in their difficulty. Tolmok no longer stands on his roof again. Mounts. The speed of Raptor mount has been fixed to match its 155% speed rating, so I guess Raptors are fixed. Guild Wars. Guild ranks now have separate permissions for removing and adding items to guild storage. This also fixes a bug where custom guild ranks were unable to remove items from guild storage even though they had the permission checked in the UI. Reduce the experience gained from Settlement Siege Scroll of Experience. The Godspike event will now trigger at its scheduled time. Quest and events. Missing gathering gear recipes have been added to commission gathering caches. Interesting. So gathering gear recipes are added to the commission gathering caches. I wonder if there's a point to that when you can just buy the gear from the tailoring guy if they're novice, because we don't expect to get journeyman out of these at all, or apprentice. So I wonder what that's like. Global quests now appear in the event tracker when in valid range. Reduce the overall amount of hostile enemies in the anvils. so hawks are vanishing. That's gonna be nice. I may as well start in the anvils. We'll see how that goes. When a character gets to the furthest spot they can go on open ocean, they no longer hit an invisible wall boundary. Characters out of bounds in the ocean will die and respawn. That's fantastic. I think World of Warcraft did that. Once you got too far, it gave you a 10-second timer to get back or die. Road speed buffs for mounts have been increased. Road speed buffs for characters have been removed. Road appearances will now scale properly with settlement level. Jundark South and West Harbor players will no longer get flagged for combat when entering these areas. User interface chat tabs were moved under the chat messages window. Updated chat tab visuals. Mount, pet, and vehicle owner names now display below the base character's name. Hostile NPC name colors now adjustable in the options menu. That's cool. Added a new option to enable disable tooltip fade-in animation interface general. Added new tooltip delay setting. Tooltip delay. So this is a pretty good crafting. This is a pretty good gathering patch. Being able the starting thing with having the stations in all of the areas just isolated to the areas. You can start on the east, you can start on the west, and it won't matter. You can just stay in that area and farm. You don't have to spend 20 minutes traveling back and forth. Especially in like Lionhold, where you have to, struggle through the lag of the area, hoping you don't disconnect, when the game is just started again, trying to get through to make a bow or something. So that's fantastic. That's really, really good. I know this is one of the suggestions I put in the feedback was just putting some of the things on each side. Let's see. And then we're gonna have to see how the numbers work out. We won't know the percentages of rarity and all of this, or how many trees you'll need to chop down to get what you want, but now it's completely based on gear, and now gear matters. So that's fantastic. For me, the upload is about done, so I'm going to get to that. But these are the patch notes. Let me know what you think, and I probably won't do this again. I was just super excited, so I had to make a video. Anyway, I'm done. You're welcome.